Great. Good afternoon, Anna. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so excited to have you here. I'm back on Vancouver Island to talk to us about the release of your new book, as well as several fabulous woolly conversation topics. For anyone who might not be familiar with you and your work and your farm, do you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. I'm super excited about this opportunity to talk about my book, but also just the Canadian wool industry in general. So I'm Anna Hunter. I am a sheep farmer and a wool mill owner and general wool and sheep nerd out in eastern Manitoba, Treaty 1 territory. I actually got my start opening up a community-based yarn store in Vancouver called Bad Anna's. And ever since then, I have been on this sort of backwards journey on the wool supply chain to understand what's happening in Canada around our wool and our sheep industry and how we can get Canadian wool into the hands of Canadian fiber artists.
Yeah, it's been, for those of us who've been following your career for the past, however long it's been, 7 years?
10 years.
10, oh my goodness, 10 years. All the way from Bad Anna's is still around today as a fabulous community yarn store, which I think just goes to show the depth of your connection to the communities that you join and the information that you've been sharing with the general public about how you get from sheep to skein and everywhere in between. It's really helped myself as a store owner, but I know lots of our customers as well. So, all the work that you put into this is, it's really evident. This is such a petite, such a small book, but the information that's contained within it is amazing. But you're not just here to talk about your book. Can you tell us a little bit about the lectures that you'll be doing when you're here in Victoria?
Yeah. So, it's all really intertwined. Once we start talking about the wool supply chain and where the wool comes from and the sheep farms and how the farms and the sheep interact with the land, we start realizing that everything is really interconnected. So, and I think ultimately that's what I really want to share is the interconnectedness between everything. So definitely want to share about breed specific wool and yarn and how that impacts people's knitting. And, when I started knitting, I knew there was merino wool and I knew that there was Peruvian highland wool, but I didn't know anything beyond that. So, once I discovered there were over 200 domestic breeds of sheep out there and that their wool was so unique and so different, I really dove into that learning, and I really look forward to sharing that with people and how these different breeds will impact their various practices, whether it's knitting and crochet or weaving or spinning or felting, and exploring all the breeds that we have access to in Canada. And we can't really talk about sheep breeds without talking about the impact of sheep on the land. And so that is the other thing I'm super excited to talk about is wool and sheep as a climate change solution and how we can utilize natural fibers and utilize sheep on the land as a way to sequester more carbon and as a way to really turn around the situation that we're facing today with our climate.
Yeah, I think that's such a cool way to bridge. For myself and yourself and all the fiber nerds who might be watching this, there's so many lessons to learn about breed specific fiber and how it relates to our practice. But the lecture that you're going to be doing about wool as a climate change solution goes so far beyond those of us who practice needle or fiber arts. Just goes to consumer products, consumer wool, composting, circular economy, Canadian supply. I completely understand what you mean. Once you start pulling the thread out, it's really connected to a lot of things, and we won't even go into the history of everything on top of it all. When people come in to talk to me about fiber, it's like, how long do you have?
How much time do you have to really dive into this? Because
exactly.
it's layered, and that's what's so exciting, right?
Yeah, well, the fact that you were able to condense what is, I'm sure, 8 hours of information into one evening is hugely appreciated. And then on top of those 2 lectures that you'll be coming and doing, we also have you here in the store itself to do a book signing as well. So for anyone who wants to just meet and greet or shake your hand, that's another opportunity to make that connection.
Yeah, I mean, and that's my favorite part about book tours is really just meeting with people, talking about them, hearing their own stories of Canadian wool or Canadian sheep. And, I learned so much through those experiences. So I'm super thankful that I get to spend the time with all of you and in your shop and meet all your amazing customers.
Fabulous. All right. Well, we'll get ready to host you, and only 2 to 3 weeks till you get out here. So we'll leave it there. But we're so looking forward to it. And if anyone has any questions about what to expect from your visit, I hope they send us messages or send you messages. We'd be happy to answer any questions. But until then, I know it's really busy with Knit City coming up and a few different festivals and events in between here and there. So. I hope your practice goes well until we see you, Anna. And I hope the sheep stay happy.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it's a changing of the season, so they're enjoying the cooler weather, as am I.
Good. Yeah, the craziness of midsummer is starting to calm down a bit, but usually that means our needles are more busy than ever.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm like, oh, look at these beautiful colors that these sheep have now that their fleeces are, partially grown. And yeah, it's a good time to be planning for future sweaters.
Oh, perfect. All right, well, we'll leave it there today, Anna, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
See you then.